Hi guys, tonight's video is a little bit different. We're just going to go through some things that I've already given you, and then you're going to write some linear functions for me, okay? So at this point, we're going to fill in the table below. If we have an elevation of 0, if we look at the graph, we notice that the temperature is 40 degrees Fahrenheit. If we go to 10, we look right here, and we notice that this is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, at 13 and a third, hopefully you notice at this point, this is 0 degrees Fahrenheit. And then if we go to 20, we notice that this is negative 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so we filled out the table. What is the slope of this line? Well, slope of the line is change in y compared to change in x. And so if we look here, we notice that this is negative 30 degrees Fahrenheit compared to 10 degrees, okay? I'm sorry, 10 units of 1,000 feet, okay? And so if we just go ahead and look at this, we're going to say that this is a negative 3. So if I write the equation of this line, f of x is equal to negative 3 times x plus 40, which is where I started. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do need to realize that x does represent the elevation in 1,000-foot increments, okay? We already created a table for the line that was graphed. So what is the y-intercept? The y-intercept is 0, 40. And what does it represent? Well, this is it right here. The elevation at 0 is equal to 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, that's what it represents in this context. What is the x-intercept? In this case, it's 13 and a third, 0. What does it represent in this context? Well, really and truly, what this represents is at 13,333 feet, you will have 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay? All right, so what about this one? Okay, shows the height of a seed measured in the ground as it grows as a plant. All right. This is an increase of 3 centimeters compared to 1. This is an increase of 6 centimeters compared to 2 weeks. So we notice that that is a constant rate of change. So the slope is 3. So writing an equation, the function at x is equal to growth of 3x and starting at negative 5. So we graph the growth of the seed, okay? So we notice here, and then we notice at week 5, we're at 10. And so Mrs. Rose goes ahead and does this with her line. And there we go. And we graph the growth. What does the y-intercept represent, and where is it? Well, of course, it's at 0, negative 5. And what does it represent in this context? Well, in this context, you planted a seed below the ground. How far below the ground did you plant it? Negative 5 centimeters. So what does the x-intercept represent? Well, shortly before the 2-week mark, it actually breaks the ground. But Mrs. Rose, I can't tell from your graph. That's why it's important to know this. We want to know when f of x is 0. So let's solve it, okay? 0 equals 3x minus 5. 5 equals 3x. So x is equal to 5/3. So right here, at approximately a week and 2/3 of a week, it will break the ground. All right, well, what about this? 4 weeks ago, Amy was $100 in debt. She paid $25 a week towards the debt for the last 4 weeks. After the debt is paid, she's going to put the money in the bank. So if we make a graph, here we are, okay? And it takes her 4 weeks to get to be at 0. And in another 4 weeks, there she'll go. Now, my question is this. Will this be discrete or continuous? How about you let me know in class tomorrow after you finish this, okay? All right, so the rest of this, what I want you to do is I want you to write a linear equation for each table, okay? Some of them are fairly simple because they give you the y-intercept. So in the case of this one, you have an increase of 4 and an increase of 1, and you have a y-intercept here. So the function at x is simply equal to 4x minus 1. So those are pretty simple. But what about these? What about number 5? Well, you have the slope, but you don't have the y-intercept. Oh my goodness, what's a girl to do? Well, that's pretty simple. That's where you use y equals mx plus b. You know the y, you know the slope, you know the x. What about the b? I don't know, Mrs. Rose. That's what I need to find. Oh, look, Mrs. Rose, the b is equal to 4. That means instead of writing y equals mx plus b, Mrs. Rose, what you should have written is, do you have it for me? I hope you do. Y equals 8x plus 4. Now, wait a minute, Mrs. Rose. You wrote y here, and you wrote f of x here. Which one's right? Well, ladies and gentlemen, actually, they're both right, but this is part of function notation, and we'll be talking about that in class tomorrow. All right, here's the rest of your problems. Please make sure you have them done for tomorrow. What have we talked about today? Today we've talked about linear functions. All right? Don't forget, Purple Math and Virtual Nerd are a great place to look. Also, you could get started on your USA test prep because you have several assignments sitting there waiting for you. Toodles, have a great night.